History of English Literature, Restoration Period, Short Questions with Answers, Part B, Episode 2. Question 7. Write a short note on John Bunyan and his The Pilgrim's Progress. Answer. In the prose literature of the 7th century, Bunyan is a notable name. He is a great master, and in the manner of Bacon, he is found to give a racy, forceful, and argumentative prose. The Pilgrim's Progress, the most remarkable work in English prose after the Restoration, was certainly Bunyan's. Though written in the days of the license of Charles Court, the book had a tremendous appeal to the people by its religious, ideal, and moral tone. The Pilgrim's Progress allegorizes the journey of a truly Christian soul through the worldly obstacles of life. The progress of the pilgrim symbolizes the onward journey of the soul for perfection. The Pilgrim's Progress bears the germs of the novel, although it is not a real novel. The significance of the work lies in the presentation of a simple tale with a serious design to propagate a highly spiritual morality. Moreover, the work is the fine instance of Bunyan's command over a simple, racy, and vigorous prose style. Bunyan was a prolific prose writer. He is claimed as the greatest English prose writer of the 7th century. This is no exaggerated honor. In his writing, it is found almost the Shakespearean artistry to combine wit with serious subjects. His phrases have a happy neck, and his imagination is rich. Along with Milton, he constitutes the chief literary glory of the Puritan age. Milton is the author of the singular modern epic, while Bunyan gives a great modern allegory. Bunyan's The Pilgrim's Progress is truly a great endeavor. It is a sort of religious literature itself, written in an extremely simple and straightforward manner. It remains a handbook for all devout Christians. This work is also taken as a form of novel and may be categorized as an allegorical novel. Though the essential features of a true novel may not all be found in the Pilgrim's Progress, it contains much of the force of narration, the dramatic exposition, and the psychological inspection that a good novel is found to possess. What is more, Bunyan has a telling style, simple yet sober, that impresses us as well as instructs. Question 8. Write a short note on Absalom and Achitophel. Answer. Absalom and Achitophel is the most brilliant political satire of the Restoration age. The satire is disguised as a biblical allegory in which Charles II is the David, Duke of Monmouth, Absalom, and Shaftesbury, his evil counselor Achitophel. Dryden satirized the political personalities of his time. He uses wit, humor, and irony in order to comment on contemporary politics. He takes the incident from the Bible and thereby writes a political satire. Dryden attacks Shadwell in Macflecknoe, but in Absalom and Achitophel, he attacks the vices of English politics. Duke of Monmouth was the illegitimate son of King Charles I. Lord Shaftesbury was a close associate of the king. He was a Whig politician. During the rise of Monmouth, Shaftesbury plotted against the king. He was arrested and was charged with conspiracy. Dryden was a Tory and a royalist. He wrote Absalom and Achitophel to condemn the royalist leaders. Dryden refers to the biblical story of David and his son Absalom as mentioned in Old Testament. Dryden's work is witty and bitter. he bitterly criticizes the anti-royalist politician. This book is famous as powerful political satire in English. Question 9. Write a short note on All for Love. Answer. All for Love is a representative tragedy of the Restoration Age. It is the ideal example of a Restoration heroic play. Dryden, in his All for Love, attempted to rewrite Shakespeare's play Antonio and Cleopatra. The subtitle of the play is The World is Well Lost. All for Love presents the characteristics of Restoration tragedy. It shows the conflict between love and honor. The world is well lost for Antonio. He lost the Roman Empire, his wife and children, all for love for Cleopatra. Dryden, in his play, shows the victory of materialism, intellectualism over imagination and sentimental love. The Restoration theme makes the play remarkable. Incestuous love demonstrates over spiritual love. Beloved is more important than a legally married wife. Dryden's dramatic presentation is an imitation of Shakespeare. In other words, the new classical spirit of Restoration period is evident in Dryden's All for Love. Therefore, we can say both thematically and technically, Dryden's presentation is typically Restoration rendering of drama. Question 10. What is Hudibras? Answer. Hudibras is a kind of comical epic by Samuel Butler. Besides Dryden, Samuel Butler is one of the tragedy writers of the Restoration Age. His great work is Hudibras. It is a bitter satire on the Puritan. In general outline, it is modeled on the adventures of Don Quixote and Sancho Panza, who found their respective parallel is Sir Hudibras and his squire Ralpho. Hudibras is a Puritan knight. He undergoes many absurd adventures with Ralpho. The poem is interesting for its satirical notes. Hudibras is a remarkable document of Restoration period. It is a reaction against the Puritanism. Moreover, the classical spirit's use of wit, humor, and irony make his work interesting and enduring. Question 11. Who is William Wycherley? Write a short note on him. Answer. Wycherley was perhaps the most peculiar dramatist of the Restoration Age. The productive period of his life was brief but fruitful. He wrote 4 plays in 5 years. Their Love in a Wood, The Gentleman Dancing Master, The Country Wife, and The Plain Dealer. He was a man of honorable family. He was better than the average courtiers. His contemporaries call his play mainly because of the boisterous indecency and the struggle he shows in his comedy. Lie shows cool, clever man, rogue and rake in his play. He is more vulgar than concave. However, his dialogue is witty and sharp. In fact, he wanted to focus human weaknesses. His play record the social chronicles and moral visions of age. He loves to focus cynicism, follies, and vices, which was prevalent during the Restoration Age. Question 12. Who is George Etheridge? Write a note on him. Answer. Very little is known about the life of Etheridge. He wrote Comedy of Manners. He is one of the 3 representative writers of the Comedy of Manners. His 3 plays are Comical Revenge or Love in a Tub, She Would If She Could, and The Man of Mood or Sir Fluffling Flutter. The work are important because they establish comedy of manners, which was later on perfected by Congreve. Authors try to focus on the artificial and licentious life of the upper class people. His prose dialogue is natural and brilliant. He exhibits a sense of wit and humor in all his work. In fact, Etheridge is significant in the story of Restoration drama. He can be called the innovator of comedy of drama. His plays are important not only for the thematic concern but also for the theatrical sense. That is his way of inventing dramatic situations, variety of incidents, a realistic portrait of life, wit and humor, etc., which influenced the later generation of English dramatists. Thank you for watching. My next video will be on the Neoclassical Age, 1700 to 1750. Brief questions with answers part A.